With that, it's my pleasure to introduce Joseph Di Pasquale, who is an OCCAM ARC group delegate, who will be next. Please.
Thank you very much. Well, good afternoon, everyone. And I'm Joseph Di Pasquale. I'm PhD from Polytechnic in Milan. I'm international architect practice in Milan, based in Milan. And I'm here as a delegate for the OCCAM design group. As Ivan already said, we took part in this competition from World Bank and we've been selected. But I just want to introduce this project, just talking in a general way. Let's start. What is poverty global warming? This is the title of the presentation. And I would like to start from this point just to emphasize what has been already said this morning, that we consider the smart cities, the word smart, a little bit tricky. I mean, smart can be understood as a sort of shortcut to intelligence. And what is a shortcut? A shortcut is a way to pursue the target, avoiding some obstacles. But when we talk about urbanism, we cannot avoid these obstacles. We cannot avoid the obstacles of the slum, which is a shameful problem for all of us, and which is no smart city without considering and be concerned about this problem. And this chart is very interesting in my opinion, and it's just following what Mr. Hara said this morning about you can see productivity since the 60s starts going up and wages remain a little bit decreased. But what is important, I would like to show you is how this is linked with the technology. Technology since the 60s introduced first desktop computer, then personal computer, then internet, and then smartphones. And you can see how the technology actually increased productivity, but this benefits has not been shared with the people, not been shared with the population. What is the target for we as a designer is a sort of ethical duty, as to say the word that we said this morning, a sort of moral obligation, is to try to, invert this trend and try to use technology to increase the wages, to share the benefits with the most possible people. And we have been said already, we are living in a revolution of knowledge. And what is this revolution of knowledge is about? It's mainly about the structure of society, the structure of communication, the structure of economy, that is changing from a centric structure to a neural platform of communication, sort of network, three-dimensional networks. It's also affecting everything, also design. It should affect also design. And what is interesting is the OCCAM design group, which is sort of active branch of OCCAM. I mean, this morning we said is good to discuss, but then it's good to execute, to do something. And OCCAM design group is just want to put on the table some action, little action in this direction. And robotic architecture could be a very symbolical and interesting lemma for us. I mean, robotization, digitalization, sensorization are items that should be absolutely took into consideration while we are designing the future built environment. OCCAM Design Group approach has been just designed to share the benefits of innovation, making new technologies affordable, then sharing the benefits of technologies. I mean, we have seen as technology has been increasing productivity, but has not been shared. This productivity has not been shared. And design should actually do this. And in terms of urbanism, the target of design should be design the entire life cycle of the city. Not only the construction of a single object, but think about the life of the city, life of the building, the life of the object we are designing. Just to pass from toward a dynamic urban organism in a circular process. The circular process is just a key point that is very important to understand how we can get the future construction materials. The new quarries for construction material are just dumped, landfills, or also slum can be considered as quarries for construction materials. We should consider this as resources that could be used and reused, like for instance plastic, which will be a very big problem in the near future, and how to reuse this plastic, for instance, as a plastic aggregates mixed with the concrete or other material in order to become a sort of base for construction. And this has been the starting point for our proposal for the competition that Ivan already mentioned. There was a sort of not just a building, but as a system of a resilient village network. And what is very important is that this network should be self-generative. We would not like to give a solution for a single prototype of building or single prototype of house, but we'd like to design the process of these villages to grow and to multiplicate. And actually the OCCAM rules has been embedded into this project, and basically are the following: energy, every structure should be self-powered, and in this project there is a sort of unit which concentrate all the technological issues that have been produced industrially, and that is inserted into a core which is 3D printed on site and then finished with a thatched roof handmade on site. Then this leading device unit is energy self-powered, is standardized, and should interoperability between a connection that should be permanent connected with other units. Then the 3D printed core, which is made of a mix of plastic and raw ground material, and is concerning the environment, as we said. I mean, is the rule number 4. And then the thatched roof is the 5th rule of OCCAM rules, which is the human interface. Actually, the core of the idea is to combine together technology and human handcraft, handmade thatched roof. This is very important to promote, to trigger local economy, which is not only to teach these people to how to print, to use the technology, but also to finish with using their skills, because the self-construction is something which is very diffuse, very, very, very common in these places. And the idea is that this could become a sort of process for not build one single home, but to create a sort of little district, from district to district a village, then from this village a network of villages. This is actually the idea of our proposal, the self-generative village network. And of course the idea is to robotic architecture and generally the approach of OCCAM Design Group is just to bring the people to the services, but to bring the services to the people. And this is the horizon that we are advising, and we would like to pursue it in the next steps. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your brevity and for enlarging the picture that we got from the previous, from Ivan's introduction.